So John, how to become a real estate agent? The question comes up all the time. You weren't a real estate agent, but now you are. How did that work out?
Yeah, it was about 3 years ago now, David. You convinced me, as you always say, to join the dark side. So, as you know, I've been, investing for 22 years, but just recently, 3 years ago, became an agent. So it was fun. I didn't think I'd learn a whole lot because I've been doing it for so long, but I learned a lot in the class. I did an in-person class, and it was nice to be in person. You got to know some other new agents, and so you studied for the pretty much. I guess it was about 2 weeks, the course, and then you sat down and you took the state test, and if you get an 80 or higher, I guess it is 80%, you get your license.
Yep. Well, let's break it down for people that are interested. And I really do recommend people take the time to explore it. It's not a business for everyone. It's been a great business for John. It's been a great business for me. But I'll tell you this, one, pick the state that you want to work in. That doesn't mean that you can't get licenses in multiple states. But the first step is to pick the state that you're either in now or the state that you want to work in, and to understand what the licensing requirements are in that state. You must comply with that particular state. And every state has different real estate laws. Sometimes the states have what's called reciprocation, where they work together, but it doesn't really matter unless you comply in at least the first state if you're just trying to get started. And then you should probably understand the cost associated with it. I know everybody loves to get into real estate, but John, there's fees, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You've got, obviously, your course is going to cost you some money. Applying for the license in the state's going to cost you money. And then your MLS dues as well.
That's right.
And then if you want to become a realtor, that also has another course you have to take, and you have to pay your realtor fees as well.
Yeah, and I need to explain that because I don't know if the public and people getting into it really understand it. So you get licensed and you become, I'm going to talk about South Carolina for a minute. That's the state that we're recording in today. And you become what's called a salesperson. So in South Carolina, you take 60 hours of in-classroom or online instruction, and then you pass the test, and then they want you to take another 30 hours within the first 12 months. They prefer it now that you do it immediately, which is additional training. And then from there, you pick up your continuing education every 2 years to make sure that you stay renewed. Like for now, for me, I'm getting ready to enter my renewal period, and I'm a licensed broker in charge. So I have some additional requirements I have to do. But you're a salesperson, and you have to actually join the National Association of Realtors to become what's called a realtor. And that's the REALTOR. It's actually trademarked. So there is a difference, and it's not for everyone. It is a higher level of ethical training, code of conduct. I love it. John's a realtor. I'm a realtor. We like all of our agents to become realtors. So you need to understand that, because there are some financial obligations for that as well, and some additional courses that you'd have to take. And then after that, if you're going to be a realtor, you need to, once you get licensed, you need to network and find a brokerage company that will sponsor you. Most states require you to work under the guidance of someone that's been in the business for a while, which is for the benefit of everyone, especially because you're learning the business if you've never done it before. And so what we talk about, and I recommend this for anyone, and I spoke to a young person this weekend who's trying to leave one career and get into it. I said, seek the best fit for your lifestyle or for the goals, and design your life backwards. Where do you want to be in this business? Because that's how you figure out what brokerage you want to work for. I can't even, John, there must be thousands of brokerage companies out there in America.
Oh, absolutely. And like you always say, David, we're not a fit for everybody. And there are thousands of companies out there. So find the one that you're most comfortable with.
Yeah. And this is really just aimed for anybody that's curious about becoming a real estate agent. Of course, if you wanted to learn more about our company, there's a link in this section, and we have another presentation on that. But you have to decide, are you going to do this business part-time, or are you going to do it full-time? And how do you make that decision? And I had a different discussion with someone else, and I try to be real upfront and say, look, I know people love real estate. They get into real estate, there are anomalies that people that come into the business and they just blow the doors off of it. And financially, they just every year is better and better and better. But you also have to pay attention that that may not be the case, especially if you're moving to a new geographic region and you don't know anybody. So we give some fundamentals, and we have some recordings on personal budget if you need some help with that, and some spreadsheets that you can use. How do you run a personal budget to know how long you can make it before you get a commission check? And I tell people, look, know your income needs, have some projections, understand what your cash burn rate is, how quickly you're spending cash if you're going to switch and go completely full-time and live on some savings for a while. Because if you can just get over that initial hump, it is a very flexible, wonderful career. You also have to decide the discipline that you're going to use. John, I mean, you've done all those transactions, right?
Absolutely. Yes. It's, you've got to be disciplined for sure. That personal budget, you got to know exactly how much you need every month to get by. And, you know, in real estate, it's not, you know, it's not a steady paycheck. It's commission based. So you really need to do that budget.
Right. And so whether you're doing residential or commercial real estate, or even buying and selling businesses, we do residential, commercial, full service, as well as business brokerage. So we do all that. Business brokerage is a whole different discussion regarding licensing. The focus of this presentation for you is specific to becoming a real estate agent. But what John just said, we've got to dissect that a little bit about his comment on commission. This, you know, this is a sales business. So I want you to understand, how do you become a real estate agent? You love real estate, you think it's fun. You are really entering into the sales profession if you want to be an agent, okay? It doesn't matter how passionate you are about real estate. You need to be passionate about the sales business if you're going to be successful as a residential or a commercial real estate, because it's a commission-based job. Literally, it's costing you money to come into the business, to pay your dues, to pay your fees, and you have to earn more commissions than obviously your expenses, or you won't be in business very long. So understand that is rare that you find some sort of a sales job with a commission in the real estate industry. And then the other side here on the slide B is maybe you want to go into property management rather than real estate, or leasing, where you work for someone that has 10, 15, 20, 100,000 properties, and your job is to make sure that they don't have vacancies or empty space. So you're going to then say, hey, I'll go run around and I'll have inventory and I'll try to lease that. And you typically have a better opportunity to get commission and a salary with that. But whatever you do it and really be a professional, okay? And have tremendous work ethic. This is a business that is very rewarding, but it's not an easy business to get into. So if you're going to go after it, don't just come in and sit on your hands, because you got to sell something to earn a check. And that's the truth. And it's a hard reality. But if you really want to know how to become a real estate agent, hopefully this presentation helped you with that. And we wanted to share it with you. John, any last comments before we go?
No, I think, you know, that last slide, that number 12 right there, do it and be professional with work ethic. I mean, it's a tough business, but it can be a whole lot of fun, and it can be very, very rewarding.
And if you have any questions, you're welcome to put them in the comment section. We'll certainly monitor it. I'm David C. I'm the broker in charge of the brokerage, and John Defoe is my partner. And we love what we do, and we love training and mentoring people. And we wanted to make sure that you had your eyes going wide open going into this, based on all the statistics saying everybody wants to get into the industry. We felt like it was helpful for you to understand what you might really be getting into. Thanks for your time. John, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, David.
Bye.